Thank you so much, Matt, for being here today with us. You're a very kind person to dedicate this time to us. So please let us know, how did you get started? How your journey has been at the creation of this amazing app or experience for people?
Yeah. Well, first, thank you for having me, Diana. It's a pleasure to be here and be talking to you. I guess I'll start by going into the high-level version of my background, and then if there's anything interesting, you can ask me a question about it. So basically, I did my undergraduate degree at Georgia Tech, Georgia Institute of Technology, in computer engineering, graduated, was working as a software developer, and went back to tech for my master's degree in a field known as human-computer interaction. So it's basically the study of designing products, designing digital experiences for the user to make something that people really need, that they really want. And as part of this master's program, you get to do a thesis project where you ask a question and you conduct research and you build a design and a prototype in order to test that. So Zen VR actually began as my master's thesis research at Georgia Tech. And the question that we were seeking to answer was, can you teach people how to meditate using virtual reality? And over the course of that project, it was a year-long project. We conducted research with Zen teachers, counselors, with experienced meditators and novice meditators. We built a curriculum of lessons, which I wrote and voice acted. We animated a prototype world of the earliest version of Zen VR. We put a whole bunch of students through it over the course of 6 weeks. And at the end of it, we saw statistically significant increases in a whole bunch of mental health metrics. So we saw their cognitive affective mindfulness went up. We saw their perceived stress went down. And this was around the time when COVID was starting. I think our last day of the study was the last day that Georgia Tech's campus had in person before they went remote. So spring 2020. Well, seeing the results, and those results are, they're accepted for publication now at a conference called CHI. That'll be in a couple months. But seeing those results, we were kind of inspired. And there's so many projects out there that get made. They're really cool, but they never go anywhere. No one ever uses them. They end up sitting in a file or on a portfolio page. And I feel really strongly about Zen VR, about the good that it can do in the world, and just that it's a really cool project. And so I said, you know, can we take this into something more? And from there, we turned it into a company. We went through a startup accelerator and have been building it out since then.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and congratulations on the upcoming delivery of that research that you mentioned. That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. So going a little bit back, what was the primary motivation to actually make the project as meditation? What motivated you to do that?
I think I first started with meditation during my undergraduate degree. Computer engineering at Georgia Tech was a very stressful program, and I think I found meditation on my own. There were times when I looked outside and found that there weren't that many great resources, so I was mostly just teaching myself off of YouTube videos and books, whatever I could find. After graduating from tech, I actually got invited to, well, I got a very fun email from a Buddhist monastery here in Atlanta that invited me to come to a free meditation class. And I said, well, this could either be really weird or really awesome. And I went and then started going on a regular basis. And after about 2 years, I had gone through many classes and volunteering and all this stuff with this community. And I had felt a really positive impact from it. So that was my experience with meditation. And going into my master's program, I knew that I wanted to work in virtual reality because it's such an exciting, such a cool new medium. And I thought, you know, is there a way to combine these two things? This tool that's been really helpful to me that so many more people would benefit from learning about, and this really cool medium, can we bring them together in a new way and do something really powerful to share with the world? So for me, it was the idea of meditation and virtual reality coming together for something awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, amazing. So I noticed the title is Zen VR. So my question is, why particularly Zen?
Yeah, I think, well, one, it's a phrase that's familiar to a lot of people, but it's also just the school of meditation of, I'll even say, the school of Buddhism that I'm the most familiar with. It's where I came into the space from. Actually, the monastery that I was learning from is technically Chan Buddhism, which is like the Chinese version of Zen before it moved to Japan. But Zen kind of is the more common term that a lot of people know. And then I'm involved with the San Francisco Zen Center, and it's just where a lot of the literature that has helped me the most is centered around. That being said, there's a lot of great content in all sorts of like peripheral teachings. So it doesn't have to be just Zen, and Zen VR will grow to be more than just a little bit of Zen. It'll be all sorts of things.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. What is something that people, in your opinion, seem to misunderstand about Zen?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people only scratch the surface, especially when it comes to meditation. They only learn the very basics of relaxation. Maybe they watch a YouTube video and it helps them calm their mind once, but they never realize how to take that into their everyday life. You know, Zen isn't just when you're sitting down, it's every moment of every day. It's being present across everything you do, in your thoughts and your actions. And there's a whole philosophy around that and all sorts of ways of teaching that and getting people to think about their life and incorporating that in, about being less judgmental to themselves and others, about carrying compassion with them, so much more than just relaxation. I think a lot of people would love to learn about that. I think a lot of people want that in their lives, but they don't know where to get that. And they don't realize that there's more to be found in this space than just, oh, Zen is sitting and meditating. At best, most people know that. Some people just know it as like, oh, here's a candle that's labeled Zen, or something like, oh, look at this like Zen basil plant that they're selling in the store as a marketing word. So I think a lot of people just don't know how deep the content is.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you so much. So how particularly Zen VR helps someone to maybe get into that relaxation through the meditation and then translate that into the daily life? Is that something that Zen VR helps with?
Yeah, 100%. So the focus of Zen VR is education in a way that you can take what we teach you and bring it into your everyday life. It's not just about relaxing you when the VR headset is on. There's a lot of apps and things out there that can help you with that. And that's great. It's a good first step, but no one else out there is teaching the next two, like step 2, step 3, step 4. And that's where Zen VR comes in. Our goal is to take you from being a beginner, exciting you about learning meditation, about learning the philosophies around it, and then guiding you through that process with a curriculum, with teachers, with environments, and virtual experiences that bring the learning to life. So things like, we'll talk about impermanence and not getting upset about things that you can't control. And then we'll change the weather to be rainy outside. Or we'll talk about mindfulness and observing your thoughts like clouds passing through your mind, and we'll have actual clouds come through the classroom. So taking these concepts, phrasing them in a way that people can understand them, using the virtual reality to make it real, and then teaching it in an interesting way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much. What do you think that is the main benefit of using Zen VR, which is this experience, beautiful, immersive, as opposed to in real life?
Yeah. Well, honestly, if you have a Zen teacher, if there's a Zen center or monastery around you that offers classes, I'd say go to that. It's a fantastic place. Those are fantastic places if you have a real life teacher. But the reality is most people don't have that available to them. Finding a real Zen center can be difficult. There might not be one near you. If you live in somewhere rural or just somewhere where there's not a Zen center, that's tricky. Some places could be expensive or just hard to fit into your life if they only have a class at a certain time or the teacher can't take more students. So Zen VR brings that experience and the learning and the teaching and the wisdom to everyone. It's not limited geographically anymore. We can create this virtual space for people to come and learn together from the best.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Yes, it's such a good experience. I've tried Zen VR and I can see the impact of that. For example, where I live, there are no Zen monasteries or any of these experiences that I feel actually also excited to go and try. But I was excited to try ZenVR, and I can say that is such a good experience. It's very helpful, very useful, and also to establish the habit that we need in order to support our life in the day-to-day. So that is one of the beauties of the app. Thank you so much.
I believe technology exists to help us as a tool. It's not something that we should be addicted to. It's not something that we need to rely on, but when used properly, just like with a hammer, it's easier to hit a nail than using your hand or using a rock. Technology, when applied the right way, can really benefit us. Virtual reality is incredibly powerful. There's so many studies out there about how virtual experiences can help shape the mind, help it heal and learn in new ways. There's studies on how it's used for treating phobias like a fear of flying or a fear of heights. And when you think about what we're talking about here, it's a therapist using a virtual experience to change someone's perception of the world outside of VR.
Thank you so much for that, Matt.
Of course. And I'll say with that too, if there's anyone out there that's experiencing a lot of stress or anxiety and just wants a community of people to talk to, maybe you're not sure if it's meditation is the solution, but you want to change something, come talk to us at ZenVR. We're here to help. We're here to talk. Thank you for having me. You're a great host, and it was a pleasure to be here talking to you, Diana.
Thank you so much, and see you in the next episode. Bye for now.